Hey, what's going on? It's Matt, and I'm going to show you how David beat Goliath. And I'm talking about Messenger versus email and how a measly 15,000 person Messenger database outperformed, obliterated a 122,000 email list. Now, these are two different brands, but I want to show you the story so you can understand the value of not only Messenger over email, because you could apply this to email as well. The value of having specific conversations, engaging your customers for specific reasons. And what do I mean? Well, I'm going to show you in a minute how these messages in Messenger don't go to everybody. They only go to specific people. I want you to imagine Matt Platt, 42, married with kids, getting a college night email. It doesn't apply. Now imagine your 25-year-old kid, or if you're 25, imagine you getting a kids eat free and you're single with no kids. It doesn't apply. That's what has hurt most messaging, like email. That's what Messenger is amazing at. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself small here. There I go. And I'm going to show you a journey. Now, what I'm going to show you is three things. I'm going to show you at the end of this, the power of an engaged audience and how you can track and measure results. But in the middle, I'm going to show you here a couple different journeys. So first, this is an email database. This is a client of mine's email they sent out. 121,613 emails were sent. It had 11,153 opens, 593 clicks, 100 unsubscribes. That's actually amazingly low, 100 out of 121,000, so that's great. The bounce rate's actually pretty decent, and 9 spam complaints is pretty good for 121. So they've actually got a pretty good list. It's just email marketing. And you can see all 121,000 got the same message. Now, let's go ahead and look at something a little different. Let's look at Messenger. Now, this is a client of ours, Messenger database. This is the broadcast history. These are messages that were sent out to their database based off of people's tags, use, all those different variables. So put this in perspective. This client in here has right around 6,000 people in a database. And you'll see 3 columns here: sent, read, and clicks. The sent message, you'll see 1,400, 22, 14, 37, 4,000, 27, 600, 700, 2,100, 2,200. These ones are just tests. Don't ignore those. Ask yourself why we would only send 623 to a database that actually has 6,000. Well, because we're having very specific conversations. A good example is this dessert pizza offer in September. It went to 721 people. Why? It went to women who had redeemed. We made some assumptions that these women probably have kids based on their ticket sizes. They've redeemed offers in the restaurant. You can see 98% opened it, 50% engaged. So the average open rate here, 97, 97, 96, 96, 98, 95, 98, 89, 97. Now you might ask yourself, oh, it's going to get lower as time goes on. Well, it's actually not. If I go back and show you, this is going back to May of last year, 99% the first one, 99, 98, up to September, 4 months later, 98, up to December, 97. So the people are still opening the messages, and then the click rates over here, the engagement rates, 35, 24, 37, 50, 54, 22, 26, 18. So let me show you how that relates with regards to delivering results. So here's the 2 paths. 15,805 subscribers in Messenger. Now, this isn't this one. This is actually this company here, this 121,000 email list. We've helped them in 60 days build up a Messenger database, and we're going to help them build it up to much bigger. But this is 60 days effort. We have helped them build a database in Messenger, 15,805. Their email database is 121,613. Now, let's go to opens. So if I look at a average open rate on ours, 14,000. They're getting 12,000 opens. You saw that in the email. This 14 actually is probably low because we're getting 90 to 100% open rates, 90, 98. But I'll just say 14,000, make it a low number. Now we look at engagements. we're getting 5,000 engagements on this number. When you look at the percentages, if I get 30, 40% of that, if I get 40% of 14,000 people, it's 5,600 engagements. So I think on this, I used about 35% based on their current numbers. So 5,000 engagements. Well, that same exact email, as I showed you, had 593 clicks. I rounded up 600 clicks. So to recap, 15,000 subscribers, got 14,000 opens, about the same number of opens as 121,000 database. So 8 times, is that right? About 8 times. Engagements, 5,000 engagements to 600. And here's the difference. 325 out of 100, out of every 1,000 people engage in Messenger. 4 out of 1,000 engage in email. So we've not only outperformed them on open rate, we've outperformed it on engagement, and we've outperformed it on average engagement throughout the 1,000. Now, what does that mean? What does that matter? Well, here's what it matters. So this is a dashboard that we use for our clients in our program. This shows 3 main things. And this is an 11 location fast casual restaurant. Shows 3 things. Number 1, it shows the awareness that our marketing has gotten them. So this client, and it's in the column of cost for that reason, this client has spent $19,939 right around, this is probably close to 90 days of billing, about 6 weeks of the program. So they've spent about $19,900, so $20,000 across 11 stores in around 2.5 to 3 months. They've had 1,347,676 ad impressions, 31,132 engagements. Now, some of that has some video in it. That's why it skews a little. But those engagements led to 15,864 opt-ins in Facebook Messenger. The vast majority of these have email as well because we get both, but we're focused on Messenger here. That database so far has yielded 4,443 redemptions. That means those people came in for their first visit in this program. They could be a brand new customer. They could be an existing customer. That comes later in the program when we survey people. So 28% of this database walked in the restaurant and spent money. We had some return visits already of 362. It's just literally they haven't had a chance to return because the way they're opted in and get their second offer. So 4,800 total. We've had trackable sales of $72,876 or an average check of $15. So when you just look at the standpoint there, that if you spent 20 grand and got 72, it's not too shabby. It's almost a 4-to-1 ROI, but that's discounting the media we don't even count. And it would be discounting the database. But what we've done is we've come up with a way to judge annual impact. And this really goes to show you the importance of that database. Now, this is where it comes back to that open rate, that engagement rate. Because when 110,000 of your people in this database aren't even seeing your message, it's not as impactful. When a couple hundred aren't seeing it, it's major impactful. So what we're looking at here is we've helped them build this database. Now, our job is to get the person in one time, prove to the customer that the people we have found come in and spend good money. And in this case, 15, 17 is above their average check normally, and that's after the discount. And so we're getting good customers in. We're getting 28%. So now we ask our customer in our onboarding process, what is fair to expect if I do my job and get the customer into your restaurant? What is fair for you to get them back? What percentage will you get back after visit 1? If this is a customer's first time with your brand, what percentage of them will come back? And then what percentage will come back again and again? So we looked at it. The client said, probably 18 to 20 times a year, people will eat at our brand. So if somebody's brand new, we'll get them for 20 visits. If you get 50 or 4,000 people that come in that first time, we're going to get 60 to 70% of them back. So it's going to be 15 to 20 visits. Somebody that's a customer that's already a good customer that might not engage with us through social media or email or Facebook Messenger, if we can get them back 5 to 10 times a year, that's great. And they probably can. So what we looked at is, okay, would you agree that if I can say that 28% of these people are going to come back 6 times, 2 to 4 times because of promotions we send them, and then 2 to 4 times because of you guys having a great product and a great brand, and they're going to come back? Would you agree that that is a solid number that is easily attainable? Yes. Okay, so what we do is this annual impact down here is now we're looking at the impact we can have on this client. In this case, they spent $19,000. Well, we look at it, and again, this is 11 stores. So I know 19 grand for 2.5 to 3 months would be a lot for one store. This is 11 stores, same exact brand. We take annual impact. We look at the percentage of people that redeemed their first offer. In this case, 28.01%. We then take the average check, which is 1517, and then we take the annual visits, 6 annual visits, and that's where we come up with the annual impact. So if I take this here and I make this equal that, actually I want that to equal this, sorry. 443, average check, 15, 17, 6 visits, and that's going to equal this annual impact. So that is how we come up with this equation. And that is how we come up with, understand our client, that this is the effect that we can have on your business when we do our job correctly, when we get customers in to a database that are the ideal customers for your brand. So let me paste this here, make that look good. So there you go. That's how we're getting that number. And that's the job of us as marketers, is how do I create engaging marketing that builds a database, which, by the way, most marketing companies are doing engaging marketing just for awareness. They aren't driving a database. And my challenge to any marketer, to any business, is instead of looking at your marketing dollars to drive sales, because that's what most people are going, hey, we're going to get awareness, and this awareness is going to drive sales. You skip the most important part. Get that awareness to build a database. Because guess what? This client owns this database. So every month moving forward, that customer is free. That customer is already in the program. They get messenger subscription. They get emails. They are reached back out to. There's no cost. Your acquisition cost down here in the bottom right corner I left out, $4.49. That is the cost of $19,939 divided by the number of first-time visits. So $19,939 divided by 4444, $4.48, but there's a 6 and 49. So every time they spend $4.49 on the front end, they gain somebody to walk through the door, which means that down the road, that customer's free. Why is that important? Because when you have open rates like this, when you have this type of engagement, 325 out of 1,000 engaging voices versus 4, now your database becomes even more important. So that's what I want you to look at when you do your marketing. Are you spending money to grow a database, or are you spending money to drive sales? Because if you're spending money to drive sales, that means one thing: you bought advertising. And if you bought advertising that didn't grow a database, what do you have to do next month? If I want to go from awareness to sales and I buy a direct mail piece, a radio campaign, a TV campaign, a billboard campaign, I have to pay the piper again. You don't have to pay the piper again when you build your own database. This is yours. This is yours to nurture, to work with. And if you do it correctly in Messenger, yes, could you use Messenger like you use your email? Could we take this 6,000 person database over here? This is a different brand, by the way, because the brand I'm showing you, we haven't done as many broadcasts with yet. So that's why there's not the big number of 15,000, but this one's 6,000. Could I take that 6,000 and send every one of them every message? Yeah. And you're right. My open rates would go down, 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 down. But I'm only talking to people about stuff they want. Lost customer database up here. One of my lowest open rates, 85%, 24% engaged. That question, by the way, was, we're taking your offer away from you since you haven't come in. 543 said, oh crap, no, give it back. That's pretty solid, because those 543, 31, let's see, what percentage? Well, this client's a different restaurant. About 30% of those people will redeem. So that means we just got, for that client, 150 people to come into the restaurant. And that's what this program's all about. That's what marketing's all about. It's, can you use money to build a database? Not to drive sales, to build a database, and then use your database to drive sales so that you're not constantly spending money to acquire sales. You should be spending money to acquire customers, and then you use your customers to drive sales. That's all I've got. I will see you around.